First, you start work with a lot of goals and expectations. Every day you go to work is always full of excitement and enthusiasm. But after a year, every time you wake up, you wonder if this job is still meaningful. You are worried and restless for no specific reason, and gradually lose the improvised version of yourself in the early days. If the story is familiar to you, it's time to look again to see if you're experiencing burnout or not. Burnout spares no one, regardless of whether you are a stay-at-home, manager, teacher, engineer, or doctor. When burned out, performance decreases, and fear of failure increases. You feel overwhelmed and buried under countless expectations from others. No longer able to meet your needs, your life is extremely boring. So what is burnout? Burnout syndrome is a psychological term that describes a state of exhaustion and fatigue, and leads to reduced work productivity. Potential customers of this syndrome are often the young, immersed in work and study every day. There are stages for you to know that burnout is appearing in your life, such as being more ambitious than before, working more, being indifferent to yourself, forgetting other values in life, blaming personal problems, no longer feeling self-worth, avoiding reality, frustration, and exhaustion. Not only does it affect mental and work issues, but burnout also affects the body. We often confuse stress and burnout, but these two syndromes are not the same. Stress happens faster, over-involvement, overactivity, and urgency, leading to anxiety disorders and physical damage. Burnout occurs for a long time and over a long period, emotional indulgence, helplessness, and loss of motivation and ideals, mainly leading to emotional damage and depression. Burnout syndrome will not go away on its own. It will get worse if you ignore it. Therefore, if you are in a state of burnout, what you need to do is find out the cause, and then find the most suitable recovery method.
How long has it been since you relaxed without automatically thinking about tomorrow's work, the week's plans, or even the month's goals? How long has it been since you slept with your task, and repeatedly woke up at midnight to respond to client emails, or messages from your boss? If possible, temporarily put aside the work you are doing. You can take a few days off to travel, or simply take a break from social media for a few weekends, rest with your family, or take some real time for yourself. The essence of time management is priority management. It is estimating the time and arranging work in order of priority in accordance with your orientation. Some popular tools that can assist you in time management are the Eisenhower Matrix, Bullet Journal, or simply, To-Do List or Google Calendar. Taking on too many tasks is not a long-term working strategy. Instead, set limits from the beginning, preferably when you first start work. In the total working time, divide what needs to be done, what should be done, and what does not need to be completed urgently. When you have too many tasks, and someone asks you to add another one, don't rush to say yes immediately, but estimate the time needed to complete it. If you feel you can't handle it, boldly refuse and clearly explain. One of the reasons you experience burnout syndrome is due to too much work. Therefore, knowing how to prioritize important and urgent tasks, reorganize your work, and say no when necessary is the first thing you can do to avoid overwhelming work pressure. The second reason burnout appears in your work is perfectionism. There is nothing perfect in life, and neither is work. So don't be too hard on yourself. Lack of self-control is also another cause of burnout. It is when you feel like your life is being controlled by others. For example, you always have to do what others want. Stay calm and ask yourself, how can I change this?
And give ideas on how to handle your work. Burnout silently destroys our lives. No joy and no motivation make life boring. Recognizing burnout is not that difficult. Refresh yourself and spend more time resting and getting to know yourself. Finding ways to make yourself feel happy is the message I want to send to you. Hope you will have a more meaningful and optimistic life.